lead magnets in general, but also quizzes specifically, amazing at weeding out bad leads. Because again, you are not for everyone. Hey everyone, welcome to the S.O.B Marketing Podcast, where we celebrate the S.O.B that you are, and if you haven't figured it out yet, we mean small-owned business. We don't mean S.O.B.
Listen, we know that as a small business owner, you are working hard on the daily to keep your business fully operational while trying to promote it. And while some days it may feel like the business is owning you, if we're being honest with each other, I bet you would admit that you wouldn't give up the insanity for anything.
Our commitment here at the S.O.B Marketing Podcast is to give you the real talk, what works when it comes to advertising, marketing, promoting your business, and then what doesn't really work.
And Chelsea and I promise to always keep the conversation real. Okay, welcome back to another episode of the S.O.B Marketing Podcast. S.O.B as in small-owned business. We ain't out here calling you guys names. So if this is your first time tuning in, just know that this is a podcast that is entirely made for small business owners who are looking to manage their marketing in-house. So if that's you, then we hope to drop some nuggets of information in these podcast episodes, stuff that you can use and things that will help you out along the way. So just a friendly reminder, we are currently running a contest, and on the 20th, this Friday, tomorrow, we are actually going to be picking 2 lucky winners to win a free S.O.B Small Owned Business t-shirt. If you want to get your name included in that drawing, it's very easy. All you have to do is go to whatever platform you're listening to on this podcast and leave us a review. Those reviews help us tremendously because it helps us find other small business owners that this information could potentially benefit. And so in order to just kind of entice you guys a little more into leaving us a review, we're going to enter you into that drawing. We'll pick 2 lucky winners tomorrow and we'll reach out to you guys. All you have to do, leave that review, screenshot it, send it over to help@theseasonmarketer.com and leave us your name. Yep. Chelsea, what are we talking about today?
So today I'm very excited. We are talking about a very specific type of lead magnet. So we've done an episode on lead magnets in general. And if you are feeling kind of iffy about what a lead magnet is, go listen to that episode first. But we are talking about a specific type of lead magnet, quizzes.
Yes. And I just tell you, I love quizzes. I feel like I discovered quizzes this year and I was like, what? It's like
discovered quizzes. Great. So like, were you never on BuzzFeed or something?
No, I mean, yes, I've seen quizzes. I think what I mean is like discovered the value of quizzes to a small business.
You know what? That's a really great point because I feel like I just did it. We think quizzes and we go, BuzzFeed, silly little quizzes. But you know what? Quizzes are very powerful lead magnets, and we have found a lot of success with them. And that's why we want to talk about them, because I'm so sure as a small business owner, you're like, I'm not going to make a quiz. Like, what are you talking about? Guys.
Chelsea, can we talk about like the actual, we were looking at the numbers right before recording this. What was it? We got over 900 leads onto our email list.
Yes.
Through quizzes.
Exactly. So quizzes, don't you dare stop listening to this. I'm telling you, quizzes are great. You can absolutely make one. In this episode, we're going to do a deep dive on them so that you can build your own quiz lead magnets to bring in some leads.
All right. So Chelsea, where do you want to start the conversation in regards to quizzes?
Okay. Well, I want to say real quick, a lead magnet is a way to collect information on potential customers or clients so you can bring them in as part of your community. Okay. So a quiz does this amazingly well. And part of the reason it does it so well is because it establishes credibility, right?
Yes.
It's easy to establish yourself as an expert in your field when you create a quiz.
Well, and especially if you're doing a quiz that is spot on. Okay. So we just created one. I'll give you an example. We just created one for what marketing personality are you? Yeah. All right. And I feel like we worked on it quite a bit because we wanted the results to actually be true. because
Yes.
there is nothing better than when you take a personality quiz and they identify you the way you see yourself and you're like, oh my
Mhm.
gosh, that is me. That's me. So I
I am
feel like that's
absolutely this type of bread. Thank you.
I am 100% sourdough. Thank you for for putting that out there. So in this quiz, what I love is we have actually broken it down to help small business owners identify what type of marketer they are for their small
Mhm.
business. Okay. So just to give you a couple examples, and I think we asked them maybe about like, I want to say maybe it's like 8 questions, 9 questions. Okay.
Yeah.
The data guru. If you thrive
Mhm.
on numbers and analytics and you're always looking for data driven insights to guide your decisions. Okay. We tell you if you're that. We tell you if you're the community builder. So it's all about relationships. You're a master at building loyal customer communities and fostering connections. Or we tell you if you're the creative innovator, if you see
Ooh.
marketing as an art form and you're always finding unique ways to captivate your audience. So
Mhm.
I think there's something fun. And like you said, Chelsea, it establishes um,
Credibility.
our credibility. Yes, sorry. I
Yes.
was like, it's a C word. Where am I going? Our credibility as marketers, if we're able to identify people correctly, if when they
Yeah.
read that result, they're like, wow, that definitely is me. The
Mhm.
other reason that it establishes our credibility is that within the quiz, once they get their results back, we actually took it one step further. And within their results on that same page, we told them based on their marketing personality
Mhm.
what 3 things they could be doing to
Yeah.
amplify that and to really work with that particular personality. So I
Yeah.
think we did a really good job with it, as far as finding something that people would say, oh, not only was that fun, it did identify me correctly
Mhm.
and they gave me useful information and tips. Great.
Yeah. And I think that's a great example of a way that you can take something and add oomph to it, right? Which is something we're always talking about. If you take your quiz and from the results give them extra information that's related to the results they got, that's a great way to really, really establish credibility.
And let's also not shy away from being truthful about then what it does is this is, like you said, a lead magnet, which
Yep.
means that when they enter their email to get the results, it was
Mhm.
almost like we want to be sure that we're providing them some kind of value within that.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then they're on our email list. And then that
Mhm.
means we get to nurture that relationship and we get to then continue delivering more information. So from A to Z, we want to be sure that from the time they get put into that little funnel for us, that then everything subsequently is going to be, just kind of massaging that
Yeah,
relationship.
absolutely. And quizzes are amazing, specifically lead magnets in general, but also quizzes specifically, amazing at weeding out bad leads. Because again, you are not for everyone. Your ideal customer is a very specific, very niche type of person. You are not for everyone, and you do not want to, let's be honest, waste time pitching
Hmm.
yourself to someone who's not going to convert. So, just because someone is interested in your lead magnets does not mean they would be a good fit for your business. So, quizzes are really unique because you can segment participants, right? Because you can get different results from the quizzes. And because you are segmenting your leads into different categories, maybe one of these categories are people that I don't want to try to work with.
Yeah. No, I think that's great. I mean, it is I think as a small business owner, the one realization that you need to come to
Mm,
is the better you get at marketing, really 50% of it is attracting the right audience and
yeah.
50% of it is deterring the wrong audience, right?
Yeah.
Deterring, like you are okay saying, this is what I'm going to put out there as my mechanism to field and weed out the people that I do not want to have to, even deal with.
Yeah.
And, and I think as a small business owner, you guys, you're out here creating a business that you love. okay?
Mhm.
A business that you chose to build from the ground up. Do not make it something you don't want to like do on a daily basis. If there are
Yeah.
people that your ideal audience, then you want to speak to that. So you're right, Chelsea. What I love, two things that you said, it does allow you to weed out the bad. A couple different ways
Mhm.
that you could do this through a quiz is either by picking the topic. So, for example, for us,
Mhm.
we have two quizzes that do this really well. The
Mhm.
marketing personality quiz, for one, if somebody takes it, and we're going to start running ads here soon on that at some point,
Mhm.
the person that clicks on it to take that quiz is going to be the person that we know is going to be a small business owner, because we're going to
Mhm.
preface that in the ad, and B, the person that wants to do marketing, right? Because it's labeled the marketing personality quiz. Why
Yeah.
am I going to click on that if I don't have an interest in marketing my small business?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
those are two ways that we're looking at that. And then the second part of it, which you mentioned, was the segmentation part. Because there are 8 different personalities that you can get as a result of this particular quiz, those are 8 different segments that we can put people, 8 little buckets that we can put
Mhm.
people into. And what we then do with that is, if if we have people that are idea generators, so we know that they love fresh ideas, blah, blah, blah. The second that Instagram changes their algorithm, because we know they're going to, and they have some other type of thing that they're pushing out, we can
Mhm.
send a very specific email to these idea generators to say, hey, if you're on Instagram and you're an idea generator, here are 5 ideas for you to better leverage X, Y, and Z, right?
Yeah.
Because we know they would love that type of information, but we don't have to send it out to all the other people. So you could get extremely granular. And I think when we've talked about customization before, Chelsea, or personalization,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Personalization back in 2019 was like, hi, insert name, you know? That's not the personalization people are doing
Mhm.
nowadays. They want to
Yeah.
know, like, hey, they know what I like, they know the
Yeah.
information I'll read, and that's what I get sent to me.
Yeah. And that's when we talk about personalization, that's what we need, what we mean. It's not about names anymore, which I've told this story before, but an insurance company had said when I was job hunting in college, I was about to graduate and I wanted a job as soon as I graduated. And this insurance company had reached out to me because they wanted me to apply. It said, hey, insert name.
They
The
didn't even
person
bother putting your name in
the
there.
person didn't even bother to put my name in there. I'm like, obviously, I'm not going to bother to apply. Like, you didn't even bother to write my name. No. But as we just said, that's not personalization anymore. That's like the bare minimum, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
This is the bare minimum of personalization.
That was like the caveman version of personalization back in the
Yeah.
day when they first started. They're like, "Oh, we can insert a field here and have it change," you know?
No, yeah, I'm sure they were so excited about it too. But now it's about that connection, getting the person, their personality right. And that's what lead magnets in general do so well. And that's what quizzes specifically do very, very well. And let's talk about the fact that once you really customize and personalize your messaging to each of these segments, the way more successful you're going to be.
Yeah, and I do think I don't want to, because that quiz, it did take a little more time to put together, right?
Yes. Mhm.
So I don't want people to think of this isn't going to be something I can apply to my business. Let me give you an
Yeah.
example of two other quizzes that we've done.
Okay.
One of them is it's another personality one.
Mhm.
What's your vendor personality? And that one, you only had 3 options.
Yeah.
Okay. And so we built that one out, and basically it's for anyone who is like a crafter that goes to
Mhm.
these markets or sells at a local market. And basically it asks them a series of questions, and it just tells them, hey, here's the type of personality you are at markets. Here's what you could do to, be a little better or to lean into.
Yeah.
Then the other one is a very practical, are you ready to start selling at markets?
Mhm.
That one was our most popular one. And that one is because we are legitimately just telling a business like, hey, yes, you're
Mhm.
ready, or a small business owner, hey, yes, you're ready to actually start working the market circuit,
Yeah.
or no, here are some things that you may want to identify before doing that.
Yeah.
So that one worked really well. But you can imagine possibilities are
Yeah.
endless no matter what business you're doing.
Well, I was going to say, I have some great examples that we haven't created, but I've seen skincare companies. This is
Mhm.
huge now. Narrowing down the best product for your skin type, they do that with quizzes. And because people are actually bothering to take the quiz and go through the steps to learn what works best for their skin, they're more likely to make that purchase. So the beauty industry, skincare, really big. Another great example, and I don't know why I've thought of this. In an episode in the past, you gave an example of bowling, a person who sells bowling equipment. This
Mhm.
has to have been like 2 years ago, Vivian.
I was gonna
Like
say, yeah, this
this
is one
is
of our
an
early episodes.
yes, it is an old episode, but I distinctly remember this. And a great quiz idea that I just thought of is, what level of bowler are you?
Mhm.
Are you a beginner? Are you an intermediate? Are you advanced? Depending on the category that the person ends up in from the quiz, you, one, can give them tips to improve their bowling game, and two, can direct them to products that relate to where they are in their bowling journey.
Absolutely. I love that, because I think what it does is it requires us to become a little more creative outside of just the
Mhm.
traditional advertising that we're
Yeah.
used to. Okay. So, and let's take Chelsea's example. Like she said, you are a company that sells those gloves, right,
Mm-hmm.
for the bowlers.
Yes.
Obviously, there are going to be different levels of people that are engaged in bowling, just like pickleball these days. Okay. It's all the rage that people are spending all their money on pickleball equipment and all this. But it's the same
Don't
thing.
let
And so,
Vivian fool you, okay? She is like, Chelsea, let's start doing pickleball. So just saying.
legit 100%, like, I feel like we're going to make a YouTube video out of this. Like, I want to try pickleball.
Okay.
I just want to see you running around the court chasing a ball, Chelsea.
Okay. We could do tennis, but no, that's fine. We can do pickleball.
Yeah,
That's
let's
okay.
try something new.
Okay.
Um, But so the thing with that is, traditionally for a glove, you would think,
Mhm.
okay, well, I'll run a couple Facebook ads. I'll
Yeah.
put an ad in the golfing, or in the bowling magazine,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Or I'll find the most popular bowling blog and run ads in that blog.
Yep.
Those are all great advertising tools. But like she said, if I'm trying to become the one place that people go to for all their bowling equipment
Mhm.
or product, then by doing a quiz like this, where essentially I'm telling them something about themselves, right? So they get that, you know, I guess, I don't want to say joy. What do you get? That
Insight,
satisfaction.
satisfaction.
Insight,
Yes.
satisfaction, yeah. That you're like, "Oh, I've been wondering if I'm still a novice, or if I've actually, like, now can call myself, whatever."
Yeah.
Okay, you're giving them that little bit of information, and then you now know that for this person moving forward, because they're now on your email list, because they gave you their precious email to get those results, now you know what category to put them in and which products are best going to help them, right? So then when you're marketing to them down the road and you're like, "Hey, do you want to improve your bowling game? Try our new
Yeah.
glove, or our new this or that, our new bowling ball, whatever that is." You could just speak better to them. So I
Yeah.
do think it helps to get us out of this creative rut that sometimes we get in with just
Mhm.
traditional advertising, where we're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, let's just do more of the same." But you
Yeah.
could get some really great results. Now, granted, that lead time might be a little longer, but
Mhm.
over time, you might be able to actually sell them more.
It's a great example of how nurturing a relationship can be more important, not necessarily more important. It can be more
beneficial.
Beneficial, yes, thank you. Are you a small business owner feeling overwhelmed by marketing? We understand. That's why we created the S.O.B community just for you. Imagine having access to expert marketing advice every week through our interactive Zoom calls. Network with fellow small business owners in our community, share valuable insights, and grow together. Dive into our comprehensive training videos covering everything from social media to SEO. And all this for just $50 a month. Empower your small business without breaking the bank. Join the S.O.B community today.
Chelsea, we had mentioned this, I think, in maybe 2 episodes ago when we were talking about with Bray, the conversation. At some point in the conversation, I said, when you boil it down and you just realize that people are walking this earth, they just want to be seen.
Yep. Yeah.
Like, you guys, that is what's going to help your marketing even more. When you use copyright, when you are putting your verbiage together, when you basically say to someone, I see you, I know the pain points you have. I have a solution for you. I can bridge that gap. That's all people want at the end of the day. And so all of this data, because it is giving you more data on people in general, on potential customers, you're able to just kind of hone in what that message is and be able to offer them, actual products that they need. It's not going to do you any good if you are this bowling glove company, whatever, and you are trying to sell a $2,000 glove to someone that just started bowling last week. That's not going to work, right?
Yeah.
So that glove, that $2,000 glove, is only going to be for the people that take bowling seriously, that are actually probably like making money off of it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's an investment. So it's just little things like that and I think the last episode we talked, Chelsea, you also mentioned this. You said, you don't want to be marketing to people that just are not going to buy your stuff. You're wasting your time.
Exactly. So hopefully we've convinced you guys to give it a try. Let's try out quizzes. Vivian, can you talk about how we actually create our quizzes?
Yeah, so we use this fun thing called Interact Quizmaker. And so if you want to find more information about it, go to tryinteract.com. We actually also have a referral link for you, an affiliate link. So we'll drop that down in the information below in the show notes.
Yep.
And basically, what it does is it walks you through very simply how to build out this quiz. It's wonderful. Okay. It has templates. It even has, you go in there and it's like, hey, here are 10 templates for quizzes. What type of quiz? They divide them into categories. If you're health and wellness, they have categories for that. If you're beauty, they have categories for that. Or for me, because we don't want to do anyone in a particular industry, what I go for is the look and style of it. Okay, do I like the look of this quiz? Then I can modify it and personalize it.
Yep.
So you go in, you select it, you can change and customize everything about it. You can use your brand colors, you could change the font, you can upload different photos, you can swap everything out. You build out the quiz, and I'm going to recommend this to you guys. If you think after listening to this conversation, I 100% want to try to use a quiz, my recommendation is that you have given thought to what the quiz is going to be, the questions you're going to ask, and what the responses may look like before you even get on to tryinteract.com. That's going to help you not waste a lot of time. By the time you open up, you pick your template and you walk through it, it will tell you, okay, what are the questions? And you basically just fill in. Each page is a different question. Okay. So you do maybe 5, 10 questions. You don't want to make it too long. Then it will tell you to tie, then I'll say, okay, results. What are the result options? And what you do is you build out the results and then you go in and you literally tie it to the questions. Okay. Yeah. So if I have a question 1 is a yes or no question. If they answer yes, this is where I want them to go. If they answer no, this is where I want them to go. so on and so forth. And so at the end of the day, the platform will do it for you. They do all of the back end stuff to where, it says, hey, as this person progresses, if they answer this way, this is the bucket for the result you need to put them in. Then you build out your results page, which means that for every result, they give you the option of how you want that page to look.
Okay.
So if somebody, and you can toggle between doing one of two things, and they explain this all perfectly in the layout. So you can choose to say, in order for them to get a result, they have to provide an email address. And they tell you that about, maybe 40% of people won't do that, right? So they're like, hey, if you're okay with 40% of people not doing this, then that's fine, select that. Or what we did for this last one is we said they don't necessarily have to provide a email, but we do give them the option that says like, hey, if you want, to do that. And so you're covering your bases. Everything is secured. Everything complies with all of the email marketing stuff you want to comply with, which means if somebody is giving you their email address, that they check off a box that says, we know, we're providing this in order to be put on your mailing list, etc. Compliance. And then from there, you just basically tell the platform, okay, if they got this result, this is the email I want them to get, or this is the page that I want to pop up, and you can customize that as you wish.
I love that. I think this is a great time to say, maybe map it out before you even get to the website. Before you even get to the website, maybe map it out on your own, just so that you can really visualize how you want the quiz to work.
And I encourage all of you, go take our marketing personality quiz. We'll link that down here below too, or pop it up on the screen. And the reason I say that is, if anything, great, you'll get some feedback, valuable feedback, and I think really good tips. But on top of it, you get to see in action what we're describing. So you'll get to see the questions, the way we laid them out. Then you get to see the result you get, and you get to see how we actually built out that page. And so in there, the reason I say that is because the other really cool thing about this quiz is on the results page, at the bottom, we actually had an area that then points them back to stuff we're already doing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so I think that's the important part, is it serves as just another way for us to be introduced to people that maybe have never known about the Seasoned Marketer and what we do. And then they get to see the resources we have out there and decide if they want to join any of those as well. So as far as like free promotion for your business, it's a great way to do it. Now, it does cost money to do the Interact Quizmaker. It's a monthly fee. I think it's $15 a month. It's nominal. So it's definitely, if it's going to be a big way for you to funnel people in to your business, I think it's worth $15 a month.
Yeah. I wonder, do you know if there are, obviously we use Interact. It's the thing that we have found works the best. Are there other ways to create quizzes?
I'd imagine that there are. I don't think that Interact is the only one. And certainly we encourage you guys to go in and to Google that. If you say, I don't want to pay $15 a month, or let me see what else is out there, go ahead and give it a Goog and figure out if that's something that, that's out there.
I do know Qualtrics is a thing that you can use, but obviously that is not going to give you the customization that this is giving you. So Interact is going to allow you to really promote your business. Whereas I think DIY Qualtrics, using that, it's going to be more just like quiz and
like
not necessarily, bare bones quiz instead of a branded experience, which I think in this scenario, because you are using it as a lead magnet, you do want it to be very branded,
Yeah, and it's also as a small business owner, using the products that are good for you at the time or the platforms that are good for
Mhm.
you at the time of wherever you're at in your business, okay? And
Yeah.
what I mean by this is if you're a small business owner, I don't recommend that you go out and buy big, bulky things, okay? The
Mhm.
reason I know how I work as a small business owner myself, and Chelsea knows it too, a little scatterbrained. But so I need platforms that are going to make it as easy as possible for me to be able to go in there, learn it, do what I
Yep.
need to do, and get it up and running. I don't
Yeah.
want to spend so much time. It's the reason that Chelsea and I use Flowdesk,
Mhm.
okay? Because it's so easy for us to drag and drop and just create the emails so that we could get them out on a weekly basis, as opposed to us using something a little bulkier, right? Like
Yeah.
we have Kartra for one of our courses. I
Mhm.
can easily create emails in Kartra. And at one point I had thought about it and I was like, I cannot let go of my flow desk. I'm like, I love that thing so much just
Yeah.
because it's so simple. So I
Yeah.
will continue to pay a separate monthly fee for that
Mhm.
because it makes it easy. Same thing with this Interact quiz maker.
Mhm.
I learned about it from another podcaster that started doing quizzes and stuff. And we
Mhm.
had talked about it. And I was like, you know what? Let me just try it. And I loved it. And
Yeah.
actually, y'all, I think they have a free version that you could use. And I think you can only do like one quiz or something like that with it.
Mhm.
I don't think it gives you a lot of capability. But
Yeah.
for $15 a month, it has given us definitely a good opportunity to attract new people into the seasoned marketer. And I
Mhm.
do think that you can get creative as a small business owner to get some really good leads using quizzes.
I love this conversation. And I think, y'all, this is a great example of we found something that really works. So we want to share it with y'all.
Yeah, like I
Like,
said, 900 plus leads
yeah.
off of
Yeah.
that one quiz that we had done early this year. Now, here's the other part. I just kind of had this idea, Chelsea.
Ooh,
If
okay.
okay, so it's
Mhm.
a lead magnet. That's
Mhm.
great, but I'm also wondering, and if you service-based businesses ever do this, like tell me. Please email us at Vivian at the season marketer or help at the seasonmarketer.com and let us know how it went because I'm curious. Let's say that you're offering a service. You could use a quiz to get to know your clients better. And so that before they're coming in
Okay.
for that first initial service, maybe you're able to make it a better experience.
Yeah. For massages, you have to fill out like
Like an
these are
intake
the
form.
like an intake form, like, oh, focus on this area. Oh, I suffer from this or stuff like that. So yeah, maybe if you're like getting a facial, even if you do waxing, really, because like we talked about with our episode with Bray, the person who does your hair, the person who waxes you, like you have such a strong relationship with that person, but you have to build that. So
Especially bikini waxing, right?
oh
Like,
yeah, definitely. Like if that first experience for them is weird, they're not
yeah.
going to come back to you. So that's a great I'm interested too.
And I don't know if it'd be a duplication because, like you said, intake
Mhm.
forms are a big thing. And like most service-based people will tell
Yeah.
them, like, "Hey, fill out this form for me," so that way I get to know
Yeah.
kind of. But I'm wondering if a quiz can provide value on
Mhm.
that end as well. But
Or I wonder
uh,
if you just merge the two, so, like, that's your new intake form.
I mean, it very well could be.
Yeah. Mhm.
So I do love anything. Look at how far we've come in 2024 when it comes to marketing, y'all. Like Chelsea said, we used to equate quizzes with BuzzFeed, and it was like,
Yeah.
tell me what kind of sandwich I am, right? So now
Yeah.
we're actually utilizing this as a way to attract more people into our businesses and to
Mhm.
be able to deliver even better communication to them. I'm just always, this is the part of marketing that I absolutely love because it does change month to month. And I guess that's the stuff that makes people want to rip their hair out. So just a plug here, a reminder, if that's you, if you feel like you need help with your marketing, keeping your marketing in-house, and you're like, Vivian, there is no way that I'm going to be keeping up with all these trends and stuff.
Yeah.
You guys need to join our S.O.B community. Okay. Monthly membership, $50 a month. You get weekly calls, group calls with Chelsea and I. We answer any questions you have. We're going to have guest speakers come in. And on top of it, we have really quick tutorials on there, and you get to be a part of a community of other small business owners that you can talk to, network with, and bounce ideas off of.
So if you're interested in joining the S.O.B community, we will have the information in the show notes. So go check it out. I really hope you guys will consider trying out a quiz. Just play with one. Just see what you can come up with and let those creative juices get going, and go be the best SOB you can be.